Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Material Welding. Please subscribe my channel to get regular updates on new videos and support my work. Today topic is preheat in welding. What is it, why it is done and how it is done. At the end of this training video you will learn what is preheat in welding, preheat versus interpass versus post heating in welding, why preheating is required, preheat temperature requirements according to ASME section 8 division 1, ASME B31.1, B31.3, AWSD 1.1 and EN 1011-2. Where to preheat during welding and easy calculation to find the preheat temperature for our viewers. So let's start. So what is preheat? Preheat is heating to a specific minimum temperature for the base metal before the start of the welding, and it is maintained till the welding complete. As we know, AWSD 1.1 define preheat as the temperature of the base metal in the volume surrounding the point of welding immediately before welding is started. In a multi-pass weld, it is also the temperature immediately before the second and subsequent passes are started. We have seen that there is always a confusion between preheat versus interpass versus post heating among the engineers and welder. So preheat is specified as a minimum temperature that the plate must reach prior to welding. Preheat is usually applied for up to an hour before welding to ensure that the temperature is even, and preheat is a minimum temperature. On the other hand, when we talk about interpass temperature, it is usually specified as a maximum temperature for the deposited weld metal and adjacent base metal before the next pass is started. So comparing to preheat, interpass is maximum temperature that has to be considered. Looking at the post heat, it is applied for hydrogen release after the weld has been completed. The post heat temperature may be the same as or greater than the original preheat temperature specified, but care must be taken not to allow the joint to cool before applying the post heat. So why preheating is required? This is a very common question. Preheat slow down the cooling rate of weld metal, heat affected zone and adjacent base metal, thus yielding a good microstructure to the weld metal and prevent martensite formation at microstructure level, thus preventing from cracking of the weld metal and heat affected zone. Preheating removes the diffusible hydrogen from the base metal and thus prevent the chance of hydrogen induced cracking known as HIC or delayed cracking. Preheat helps in reducing the expansion and contraction rate in the weldment and weld joint. Preheat burns the unwanted material or impurities present on the joint. Preheat helps to remove moisture, thus help to eliminate the porosity. Preheat lower the residual stresses in the welding joint, and preheat tends to improve the ductility for the welding joint. Next, the most important topic of every welding engineer, welding inspector and welders, how to decide the preheat temperature in the welding. Choosing the right preheat temperature is a very crucial task and care must be taken to choose the suitable temperature. A wrong preheat temperature can lead to weld cracking, high residual stresses in the weld metal and deterioration of the material and weld properties. Precisely, we can calculate the preheat by two methods. First is based on the codes and construction codes and standards, Second is using the alloy chemistry, plate thickness, weld metal, hydrogen and heat input. For my viewer easy reference, I have summarized the most important codes and standard preheat references here. These details are according to the latest edition of these codes and standards. Let's go each of these code one by one to understand the preheat requirements for different material or different P numbers. Let's start with ASME section 8, division 1, rules for construction of pressure vessels. Here the non-mandatory appendix R gives the requirement for preheating. So before we see the preheat requirement for different P numbers, let's see the two main points of this appendix. The first one is this appendix requirement are not mandatory requirement. The code do not enforce these requirements for the construction except when we are using preheat to exempt the post-weld heat treatment. The second condition is when we are having a dissimilar weld with two different P number, so we have to use the preheat temperature for the material which require a higher preheat temperature. So for example, when we are welding a P1 group material to P5 material, so we have to use the preheat temperature given for the P5 material. So let's know the preheat temperature requirement for different P number now. So we will start with P number 1 having group number 1, 2 and 3. Here the material can be, for example, A36, A516 grade or A106 for example. So for this material the codes require a minimum 175 degree Fahrenheit or 79 degrees Celsius preheat for material where a carbon content is more than 0.3% and thickness is more than 1 inch or 25 mm. For other materials having less than 0.3% carbon and any thickness, minimum preheat required is 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degree Fahrenheit. Next is P number 3 having group number 1, 2 and 3. P number 3 is carbon half moly materials. Example are SA182 grade, F1, F2 or SA240 grade A, B and C. Here the preheat temperature also need 175 degree Fahrenheit for material whose specific tensile strength is more than 480 megapascal and thickness is more than 16 mm. So any other material whose tensile strength is less than 480 megapascal or any thickness, preheat is only 10 degrees Celsius. Now let's move to next P number 4, group number 1 and 2. These material are 1/4 chrome half moly, example are T11, T12, P11, P12 etc. So for this material the minimum preheat required is 250 degree Fahrenheit or 121 degrees Celsius for material whose tensile strength is more than 410 megapascal or thickness is more than 13 mm. So there are two conditions where the rules apply. Either the tensile strength should be more than 410 megapascal or the thickness shall be more than half inch. Any other material not meeting these requirements, the preheat requirement will be 50 degree Fahrenheit or 10 degree Celsius. Let's move to next, P number 5 and 5B and group 1. These material are under 5A. Example are 2/4 chrome, 1 moly, and under 5B is 5 chrome, half moly and 9 chrome, 1 moly. Nine chrome, 1 moly. So all like P22 comes under 2/4 chrome, 1 moly, P5 under 5 chrome, half moly, and P9 under 9 chrome, 1 moly. Here minimum preheat required is 400 degree Fahrenheit or 204 degree Celsius, where a tensile strength is more than 410 megapascal. Or the second condition is when has both a specified minimum content above 6% and a thickness more than 13 mm. So there are also two conditions. One is tensile strength and other is chromium content combined with plate thickness. For all other material, the preheat required is 149 degree or 300 degree Fahrenheit. Next is P number 6, group number 1, 2 and 3. These are Martin stick steel, where normally example are 13 chrome material or 13 chrome, 4 nickel. Everyone knows about Ca6Mn casting material, which is most predominantly used. So this type of material require 400 degree Fahrenheit or 204 degree Celsius preheating temperature irrespective of any chemistry or plate thickness. For P number 7, group number 1 and 2, these are ferritic stainless steel and there is no requirement for preheat. For P number 8, austenitic stainless steel, also no preheating is required. Next, P number 9, which are nickel base alloy, normally having a nickel percentage of 2.25% to 3.5%. Example are SA203 grade A, B, D and E. So here for P number 9A, group 1, preheat requirement is 200 degree Fahrenheit or 121 degree Celsius. Here grade A and B comes under 9A, group 1. For P number 9B and group 1, preheat requirement is 300 degree Fahrenheit or 149 degree Celsius. Here grade D and E comes under P number 9B, group number 1. Next is P number 10. Here we need 10A, P number 175 degree Fahrenheit or 79 degree Celsius. For P number 10B, group number 2, we need 250 degree Fahrenheit to 1 or 121 degree Celsius. For P number 10C, group number 3, we need 175 degree Fahrenheit or 79 degrees Celsius. Next, P number 11 is not used widely, so we'll not refer this material, but you can see the details. Next, the most important material in pressure vessel is P number 15E, group number 1, which is P91, P92 material, which are basically chromoly steels with added vanadium. So here a minimum 400 degree Fahrenheit or 205 degree Celsius preheat is required, where a tensile strength is more than 410 megapascal, and the other condition is have a combined chromium content more than 6% and thickness more than ½ inch. For all other material, minimum preheat required is 150 degree Celsius or 300 degree Fahrenheit. Next, let's know the preheat requirement according to ASME B31.1 code for power piping, where power piping means piping typically found in electric power generating stations, in industrial and institutional plants, geothermal heating system, and central and district heating and cooling system. Here, table 131.4.1-1 gives the preheat temperature requirement for different P number. The preheat temperature is specified based on the material P number. If you want to know which material falls under which P number, you can refer ASME section 9 table QW/QB 422. So let's know for different P number. For P number 1, which are called carbon steel material, for example SA516 grade, A36, SA105, SA106, the preheat temperature up to 1 inch, it is required minimum 10 degrees Celsius. For more than 1 inch and having a carbon content less than 0.3%, preheat requirement is still 10 degrees Celsius only. For thickness having more than 1 inch but a carbon content more than 0.3, preheat requirement is minimum 95 degrees Celsius or 200 degree Fahrenheit. For P number 3 material, which are carbon half moly or having chrome less than 0.5%, here preheat temperature is dependent on material thickness and tensile strength. So thickness less than 13 mm or ½ inch and having a tensile strength less than 450 megapascal, preheat required is minimum 10 degrees Celsius. For thickness more than 13 mm or ½ inch and material having a tensile strength less than 450 megapascal, preheat requirement is 95 degrees Celsius. For all other material, preheat requirement is also 95 degrees Celsius or 200 degree Fahrenheit. For P number 4 material, which are 1/4 chrome half moly, for example P11, P12 material, the minimum preheat required is 120 degrees Celsius or 250 degree Fahrenheit. For P number 5A, where metal like 2/4 chrome 1 moly, the preheat requirement is based on tensile strength. For material having less than 414 megapascal, preheat required is 150 degrees Celsius or 300 degree Fahrenheit. For material more than 414 megapascal or 16 ksi, the preheat requirement is minimum 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degree Fahrenheit. For material group 5B, which are 5 chrome half moly or 9 chrome 1 moly, the preheat required is 150 degrees Celsius or 300 degree Fahrenheit for material having a tensile strength less than 414 megapascal or 16 ksi. For material having a tensile strength more than 60 ksi or 414 megapascal, preheat requirement is 200 degree Celsius or 400 degree Fahrenheit. For other material where thickness is more than half inch or 13 mm and having a percentage amount of chromium more than 6%, heat requirement is 200 degree Celsius or 400 degree Fahrenheit. For P number 6, Martin stick stainless steel, the preheat required is minimum 200 degree Celsius or 400 degree Fahrenheit. For P number 7, P number 8, P number 7 is ferritic stainless steel and P8 is austenitic stainless steel. There is no requirement for preheating. For P number 9A and 9B, which are nickel base alloy having a nickel amount of 2.5%, 2.25% to 3.5%. Preheat requirement is for P number 9A is 120 degree Celsius and 9B is 150 degree Celsius or 250 degree Fahrenheit to 300 degree Fahrenheit respectively. For P number 10I, which are 27 chrome steel, preheat requirement is 150 degree Fahrenheit. For material P91 and P92, which falls under P number 15E, these are basically chrome moly steel but with added vanadium. The minimum preheat temperature is 200 degree Celsius or 400 degree Fahrenheit. Any other material which is not listed in here but is used for power piping as per this code, minimum preheat required is 10 degree Celsius. Next is ASME B31.3, ASME code for process piping. Here process piping refer to piping typically found in petroleum refineries, onshore and offshore petroleum and natural gas production facilities, chemical, pharmaceutical, textile, paper, ore processing, semiconductor and cryogenic plants, food and beverage processing facilities and related processing plant and 330.1.1 gives the requirement for preheat temperature. The preheat requirement is same as it was for ASME B31.1 for each P number. There is no change. So both temperature requirement, material combination, thickness combination is exactly same. Only change is in B31.1 they give first temperature in degree Fahrenheit, while in 31.3 they give in degree Celsius. the material is divided into 5 category from A, B, C, D and E. Okay, and the preheat is defined based on the level of hydrogen, material thickness, and level of hydrogen is based on the welding process type. So let's understand. Under category A, the material are given here, which materials comes under category A. Then it is divided into two category. One is SMAW welding with electrode other than low hydrogen electrode, like we are welding with cellulose type like 6010, or we are using rutile type 6013. And the second one is when we are welding with SMAW and using low hydrogen electrode, or using process which generate a low hydrogen weld deposit like SAW, GMAW, FCAW. So here for category 1 material, for thickness range from 3 to 20 mm, no need of preheat. Thickness more than 20 mm to 38 mm, minimum 65 degrees Celsius is required. From 38 mm to 65 mm, 110 degrees Celsius is required. Above 65 mm, 150 degrees Celsius preheat is required. And this preheat temperature is minimum preheat temperature. Now when we are using low hydrogen electrode, like we are welding with E7018, or we are using process SAW, GMAW or FCAW, same from 3 mm to 20 mm, preheat temperature requirement is 0 degree. From 20 mm to 38 mm, preheat requirement is minimum 10 degrees Celsius. 38 mm to 65 mm, preheat required is 65 degrees Celsius. And above 65 mm, minimum preheat required is 110 degrees Celsius. And this material now fall under category B. Material is same, here also A36 and A36, but the level of hydrogen is changed. Next is category C. So this is with SMAW with low hydrogen electrodes and using SAW, GMAW or FCAW process. So how much length should be preheated during the welding? Either it should be equal to the base metal thickness or some specific size. Normally the codes call a minimum length of 3 inch or 1.5 times the base metal thickness, whichever is higher. ASME B31.1 state that the base metal temperature for the part to be welded shall be at or above the minimum temperature specified in table 131.4.1/1 in all directions from the point of welding for a distance of the larger of 3 inch, that is 75 mm or 1.5 times the greater nominal thickness, and this is required in all directions from the point of welding. Next is preheat calculation according to empirical formulas. The calculation of welding parameter, that is preheat, is based on the method B in EN 1011-2 welding recommendation for welding metallic material part 2. This method describes how welding parameters should be selected in order to avoid especially cold cracking in heat affected zone. The preheat calculation here is depend upon carbon equivalent, plate thickness, hydrogen level and heat input, and using this formula. All this calculation I have made easy for all my viewer. You can visit my website www.materialwelding.com. This is the link with you can calculate the preheat temperature. Let's see how we can do it quickly. So please visit materialwelding.com. Here you will go to welding, then welding calculator. There are different calculator you can use to calculate carbon equivalent, critical temperature, heat input, preheat temperature, weld cost, and nickel and chrome equivalent, shielding gas flow converter. So we'll go to preheat calculator. Here you will put the alloy chemistry. Then next is you have to input the material thickness. So let's say we have 25 mm or 1 inch. Then you have to enter the heat input. So I'll put 1.4 kilojoule per mm. Then you have to enter the hydrogen level. Here a recommended hydrogen level is given for different process, but if it is you think there is more, you can put other values. Let's say 7 ml per 100 gram, and then you click on calculate. So you will get the required minimum preheat temperature, and this calculation is based on the alloy chemistry, thickness, heat input level, hydrogen level, and restraint level. So this is very accurate. I encourage you to use this whenever you have to calculate the preheat temperature.